darling. This is River Roaring, celebrating the luminous life force in us all. Hello, darling. I'm River Roaring, and this episode is Arousal plus Relaxation equals Magic. And this is a special holiday edition, so happy holidays to you, however you like to celebrate or commemorate the holiday season. I hope that you really enjoy this season in a new way this year, and that's what this podcast is designed to help with. I want to really share something that I feel is at the root of enjoyment, and especially in our sexual arousal and sexual experiences. So the issue is that in this culture, and I'm in the United States of America in 2025 right now, and in this culture, we are encouraged to not be relaxed when we're sexually aroused. And that is causing, in my personal opinion, all of the biggest problems we have together as a society and a culture. And I can explain why. First of all, I define for this podcast and in my work, I define safety as a relaxed nervous system. And that definition does a lot for me. Safety equals a relaxed nervous system. On one hand, it's simple. On the second hand, I feel that it's been very true for me in my life, that as I have worked with that principle for 10 to 15 years, it's when my nervous system is relaxed that I feel safe. And another really important thing that I think this definition helps with is if safety equals a relaxed nervous system, then my safety is up to me. So whether I'm safe in the world on a day-to-day basis is up to me and my own free will over my own state of being and my nervous system. So I just said a mouthful there because a lot of people will argue with me that they don't have free will over their nervous system and their state of being. And I totally understand that. And actually that is true for a lot of people, that they have not developed out that skill and capacity yet to change your state of being and your nervous system at will. However, my theory is we actually all do have that power. The power of free will to change my state of being and my nervous system into a relaxed nervous system at will. That is, to me, in my opinion, a human gift. Whether we've developed it or not is separate from the fact that we all have the capacity to use our will to change our state and our nervous systems into a relaxed nervous system. So, with that as the beginning, it's one of my heart's biggest pains, the biggest painful thing for me looking around our culture is to see how few people are able to or are combining arousal with relaxation. And how our culture is, I have so much compassion because I've been that way. And I can give a really clear example. Like, I remember before I learned all of this, I went on some dates. I had broken up with a partner. We had been living together for years. We broke up, and I was single, and I was dating. And I can remember 2 specific dates that were miserable. Like, I was miserable thinking about dating. Some friends of mine had given me a couple names that people who might want to get together. They had asked me out. I was basically activated nervous system thinking about dating. I was activated nervous system getting set up to go on the date. I was activated in my nervous system during the date and afterward with the person. And I think they were too. It felt to me like a torture session to go on the date. It was a simple date on both sides. We both times, nothing terrible happened, quote unquote, socially, that would be defined as terrible. But inside my body, it was terrible. It was terrible because my nervous system was not relaxed. And why? And so I have so much compassion for that. And I also have compassion because our culture is reaming down our throats to be activated when we're aroused through, what do you think I'm going to say? Through porn. So mainstream porn in the United States of America today is all about activated nervous systems. And sadly, porn has become the sexual education of America right now. That's just how it is. So the education that people get about sex in general in America is activated nervous system plus arousal. And that, I just feel so sad about that because it's just not our human potential. So imagine a mainstream typical porn scene and it's all like, okay, the breathing starts to get heavier, and then leading to climaxes. And if you can imagine, I'm just squeezing all my muscles right now, like my breath is fast, my muscles are tense, and I'm not relaxed. My nervous system is activated. And that is not our highest potential as humans. So I, as a human being, and you as a human being who are listening to me, so I'm just imagining that every single being in this audience is a human. You and I, we are half animal, half God. That's what the human being is right now. We are half animal. Our bodies came up through the earth and through our lineage on earth, and we are half animal with animal instincts and all the characteristics of animal. And then the other half of us is God, or you could say spirit, or the divine, or our soul, or I might even say the unseen realms. So whatever you want to call it, source, but half of me is animal, half of me is God. And to have the most beautiful sexual experiences is to learn to come into relaxed nervous system. That's my animal side. My animal side, I want it to be relaxed in my body and nervous system. And then I want to enter in with arousal, which is this kind of a energy or like an unseen force that can come in. And why is it so important to have a relaxed nervous system with arousal? Why does it make a difference? Well, again, I talk about relaxed nervous system as equaling safety. When my body is in an unsafe place, meaning my nervous system is not relaxed. So when my nervous system is not relaxed, my body, and I'm feeling unsafe, it's impossible for my body to do a bunch of things. It's impossible to be in a creative space. It's impossible to learn new things. It's impossible to grow our soul level. We could grow in a activated, logical way of learning a new fact. We could, but we're not able in a activated nervous system state to actually grow, learn, create new things, or fully sense the physical sensations in my body. So when my nervous system's activated or I'm feeling unsafe, which I'm calling as synonyms, it is impossible when I'm really in that state to notice the physical sensations in my body. And that's the key. And they're all the key, because when I am sexually aroused and I'm having a sexual experience, I want to be at the height of my sensual nature, which means noticing all of the physical sensations in my body. Not just noticing them, but starting to learn how to work with them and cultivate the movement of that energy. None of that is possible when I'm activated. So when I'm sexually aroused, I like to be in a deep, sensual space of my physical body giving me pleasure. When my nervous system's activated, I cannot actually get my full pleasure through my body. My pleasure is coming from the outside world by what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. But it's not coming through the physical sensations of my body. So when I'm sexually aroused, I want to be in the full physical, sensual experience, and that requires a relaxed nervous system. But in addition to that, I also want to be, when I am in a sexual experience, during that time, I want to be growing, learning, creating. I want to be accessing fully my soul. I want to be combining my spirituality with my sexuality. And I want to combine my sexuality with my spirituality. Or my animal wants to meet my God, my spirit side. They want to meet in the middle and balance one another out and grow together and develop and cultivate my soul in that space of relaxed arousal. So some people might think like, well, if I go into relaxation, then I'm not going to get aroused because that's too relaxing. I'm not aroused. And that is how we're taught. But I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to share with you, that's not our human potential. Our human potential at the higher consciousness, actually, when we really bring our spirit and our body together and balance them in a sexual experience, our potential is to stay very relaxed and bring in more and more and more arousal and higher states of bliss in a relaxed nervous system. So I kind of modeled the path to orgasm in the mainstream porn environment where the nervous systems are typically very activated. This is what it would sound like more in a high state of arousal with relaxed nervous system. And I'm just modeling it for a few seconds here. Oh, yes. I'm just modeling that for a few seconds. But what can happen when we cultivate that space, that magic space of relaxation plus arousal, is that is where we actually cultivate sexual energy and cultivate our own soul and cultivate the growth of our own spirit and body. And in that space, whether we're solo or partnered, in that relaxed nervous system plus arousal space, I create new things sexually and sensually and at a soul level. And my soul and my animal are meeting, they're balanced, and they're both creating, growing, learning, cultivating a higher level of balanced sexual energy. So I'm just going over, do I want to say anything more about this? I don't want to keep you long in the holiday. I do want you to know that I learned all of this and my dating was never the same again. Never the same again. So ever since I've learned all of this and put it into practice and did that with my body and started learning, because we all start somewhere. I started from nothing. I started from no information about this, and I was almost 40 by the time I learned any of this. And so after I did learn it, and practice it with my body and build new skills and capacities, I've never gone on a date that was torture. I've never thought about dating and felt tortured. I've never approached a date and felt tortured. I've felt relaxed and aroused. And if I don't feel that way, I go a different direction. So if I'm on a dating app and I'm moving toward dating and I'm interacting with someone and I'm not feeling or able to get to relaxed and aroused, it's probably not the way for me to go. Probably time to swipe the other direction. And I only walk toward, and this actually goes for dating, and it goes for, once my body learned this, it goes for all of life. In all of my life now, I walk toward the things that are more relaxing plus arousing. And I just simply move away from the things that are super activating. And it's an inside job. It's not just this thing, this activity, although I do use my body as an antenna, and I move toward things that are more relaxing and arousing at the same time. I think there's a very special brew that happens, and once you feel that and you really get that in your body, I think you'll be just as in love with this process as I am, if you're not already there. And if you are already here, I invite you to deepen it this holiday season with your spare time. I'm wanting to give this information out during a time when people have more spare time to relax. So what I was saying is, all of life can start to become a movement toward things that are more deeply satisfying, arousing and relaxing and magical. And definitely in the sexual realm, when it comes to either dating or going toward my long-term partner and spending time with them. When I have time with my long-term partner, I want that space to be sacred. I want that space to be a sacrament. I want that space to be very special, and I want to cultivate my own internal state into relaxed nervous system, and then add in the arousal of my partner's presence and how I'm feeling and noticing my own body, and ramp it up, more bliss into a relaxed nervous system. You know where that leads? In the sexual realm, that eventually will lead to, ultimately, after cultivating it, multiple full body orgasm states for both men or women body, for male or female body, multiple full body orgasms that are all happening in a state of deep arousal plus deep relaxation. And then the energy can really move through the body. Before ending, I just want to say that I know how hard it is to relax in this world we live in right now. We are in the Kali Yuga. We are in, many people say, the darkest of the dark times of this human era, and it is not easy to relax. So I just want to emphasize, I know that. I will have a weekend workshop. My weekend workshops, by the way, are all about cultivating this state in your body. For me, I teach this in person, because in person we can feel one another and really learn together how to relax the nervous system and add in sensation into that space. And I have my weekend workshops are limited to a maximum of 10 people participating per workshop in the weekend. And I have had a room not that long ago with all the people in the workshop, 100% in the beginning of the workshop said, I think I've never felt a relaxed nervous system in my life. I couldn't believe the numbers, right? I like the percentage there. It was just like, wow, 100% of these really intelligent, really forward adults, really high level, professional, high functioning adults have never, 100% in one of the workshops, had never felt a relaxed nervous system. So I'm not belittling that one. It's not that easy simply to attain relaxation. So if you've heard this podcast and you're like, I am all over that, I want that, but you've never felt a relaxed nervous system before, the first step for you is going to be simply find all of the tools and resources, set a clear intention. I'm going to learn how to have a relaxed nervous system. I'm going to learn how to switch myself and change my state at will into relaxation. Set a clear intention for 2026. What could be a better intention? That for 2026, then I am going to cultivate a relaxed nervous system at will. And if you set that clear intention, the universe will start to bring you options. The universe will start to show you clues on your path forward to pursue that goal. There are so many zillions of ways that people are relaxing their nervous system. Of course, I live in Austin, Texas. It's almost like the capital of that. We have all these cold and hot plunges. They say there are more yoga teachers per capita in Austin than any other city. We have yoga everywhere. We have every kind of yoga. We have all kinds of dance. We have all kinds of improv work, all kinds of comedy work and performance work on stage, where that's part of the process, is to relax. We have all kinds of different breathing healers, psychedelic healers. We have every kind of healing you could think of in the world so far, I think, is here. And if you look around, you'll find something near you. And it's really helpful to have a guide or a mentor when you're working on that. If you'd like to come into my space, I would love to work with you simply on relaxing the nervous system and then starting to see how that feels to let in physical sensation into that space. That is the bedrock of my weekend workshop, and it's in person in Austin. You're invited to come to that space. If you're feeling like going really deep into a really deep container with this and more, I work with people one-on-one, private container. But for now, if you are not yet able to change your state into relaxed nervous system and safety at will, that's your next step. Just work with that. Don't worry about the arousal part, because that is not gonna work until you can get step one, relaxed nervous system. It could take the year. And you know what? If it takes the year, let's just face it, in this culture, that's fast. And you'll be ahead of 99% of the people in this culture. So that's not a very slow time frame. If you can achieve relaxation with free will in 1 year, that's awesome. And then take that relaxed nervous system you got into your sexual experiences and add in arousal. And that's almost the easy part. There's plenty of art to that as well. If you come over to my weekend workshop, we'll accelerate all of that in one weekend. Most people leave pretty clearly saying they'll never be the same. And so I'm not here just to talk about the weekend, but that's an accelerator. You will have one weekend where you are really feeling, not just hearing what I'm saying, feeling what I'm saying. In the workshop, we learn and then we practice. And then we share about that and learn some more and practice some more. So it's actually a training of your body so that your sexuality can meet with your spirituality and become one if you want it to. And your spirituality can meet up with your sexuality, and that can become one. If you've heard spiritually of people talking about ecstatic states, they're probably combining their animal and their spirit, and they're probably having relaxed arousal as part of a spiritual experience, which is certainly what's possible. So in your extra holiday time, I invite you to take steps toward relaxing your nervous system at will and learning how to do that, which is so handy for all of life. And if you're pretty good at that, or if you're able to get that state, add in a little arousal and actually feel it all and notice what that magic space holds for you. I wish you the very happiest holiday here, the whatever holiday you celebrate. I'm so excited for Christmas and the New Year, and may your leisure this holiday season be relaxed, arousing, and pure magic. Because I'm on earth to support those who are called to bring maximum love and light into their lives, liberated self-expression in all realms where all is sacred, connecting with you to create a cosmic web of love and light throughout the realms. You as a listener, me as a speaker, we create a cosmic line of love and light, and all of us together create a web of love and light throughout all of the cosmos when we light up together like this. And I'd like to hear from you. So learn more about all of my programs, leave a comment, or shoot me an email by visiting my site at riverroaring.com and clicking Get Started to share your question, reflection, insight. And if you see this on any kind of a social media platform, comment, and I'll come around and find that comment. Together, we can step into a more harmonious vibration. We can fly higher, shifting human consciousness forever for the highest good of all beings. May the love be with you. May the love be with us all.